Welcome back to Masterminds Round 2 today. A great game between PSJA Early College and Juan Diego. PSJA in the lead 110 to 100. It's time for the final stretch. We'll ask questions until that final bell rings. Whoever's leading moves on to the next round. You ready? Hands on your buzzers. Everybody's playing. Here we go. What are Teton in Wyoming, Emmons in Washington, Fanarak in Norway, and Taylor in Antarctica? All right, Juan Diego, Mary.
Mountains.
No? Is anybody? Okay, Eliud.
Lakes.
No, they're glaciers. Those are all glaciers. What is the equation of the directrix of the parabola x squared equal negative 6y? All right, PSJ, Eliud.
Y equals x squared plus 6.
No? Want to go, anybody? And time is up. Y equals 3 over 2. Express the following statement in if-then form. Q is sufficient for S. PSJ, Eliud.
If Q, then S is sufficient.
Yeah, if Q then S is enough, so that'll work. Okay. Identify the organic compounds characterized by the benzene ring structure. Juan Diego, Mary.
Hydrocarbons.
No? SJ, anybody? And time is up. Aromatics. Nathaniel West's The Day of the Locust is a story about New York immigrants, Chicago bootleggers, Hollywood in the 30s, the Kansas Dust Bowl, or the San Francisco Gold Rush. That's PSJ Lillian.
The Kansas Dust Bowl?
No? Juan Diego, anybody? All right, Mary.
The Gold Rush.
That was Hollywood in the 30s. Dust particles ejected by a comet become distributed all along the comet's orbit. When Earth passes through this stream, the particles heat by friction with the atmosphere, and they become luminous. What are they then called? That's PSJ Stephanie.
A comet?
No? All right, Mike.
Meteor.
Yes, that's correct. The XYZ affair was intended to improve relations between France and the United States. It involved 3 men sent to France by John Adams. Name one of them. That's PSJ Stephanie.
James Madison?
No? Juan Diego, Mary.
Ben Franklin.
No, it was Elbridge Gerry, Charles Pinckney, and John Marshall is who they were. Which of these words is the odd one out? Hegemony, autonomy, dominion, or sovereignty? That's Juan Diego, Mike.
Autonomy.
That's correct. In which Sunflower State city is the Menninger Clinic, a noted psychiatric institution, found? PSJ Stephanie.
Florida?
No? Juan Diego? Time is up. Topeka. The Sunflower State is Kansas. Topeka, Kansas. These women's suits, extremely popular in the 1960s, featured trousers instead of skirts. What were they? Lillian, PSJ Lillian.
Pantsuit?
Yes. Douglas MacArthur withdrew his troops to what peninsula after the Japanese invaded the Philippines? Juan Diego, Mary.
The Korean Peninsula.
No? PSJ, anybody? And time is up. Bataan. What major Canadian city is due north of the Panama Canal? PSJ Stephanie.
Quebec?
No? Juan Diego? All right, to Mike.
Toronto.
That's Toronto is correct. What's the next highest integral perfect square after 289? I don't see many pencils moving. Time is up. 324. The animal has fur-covered eyes and no external ears, but acute senses of smell and touch. What's the creature with a 4-letter name? That's Juan Diego, Mary.
A mole.
Yes. What poem by Robert Frost includes this passage? It all depends on what you mean by home. Of course, he's nothing to us any more than was the hound that came a stranger to us, out of the woods, worn out upon the trail. And time is up. That's from Death of the Hired Man. Near which town is the University of Mississippi? All right, that's PSJ Stephanie.
Jackson?
No? Juan Diego? And time is up. Oxford. Strychnine is a poison used to kill rodents. How do you spell strychnine? Juan Diego, Mary.
STRYCHINE.
No, that's not correct. PSJ Early College, anybody? All right, Eliud.
STRICHTINE. H-N-I-N-E.
No, it's S-T-R-Y-C, only one C, H-N-I-N-E. There are two C's there. Which warlord of the 13th century built an empire that stretched from Turkey to China? PSJ Stephanie.
Mehmed II.
No? Juan Diego? All right, Mary.
Genghis Khan.
That was Tamerlane. Latin for another eye. This expression refers to an intimate friend considered another side of oneself. What's the phrase? That's Juan Diego. Mary.
Alter ego.
That's correct. At first it appeared to be only a continuation of the War of Austrian Succession, but it spread over large portions of the world and brought to a climax a half-century of Anglo-French colonial rivalry. What 18th century war am I talking about? That's Juan Diego Pablo.
The French and Indian War.
No? Yes, they'll take, okay, 7 years war, that'll work. White is the traditional color of, white is the traditional color for a flag of truce. What's the color of the quarantine flag? That's PSJLU.
Orange.
No? Juan Diego, anyone? Mary?
Black.
No, it's yellow. Henry and William founded a stagecoach line which today has evolved into a huge banking firm west of the Mississippi. Name it. That's Juan Diego. Mary.
Wells Fargo.
Correct. 4 math questions. How is 3,482,000 written in scientific notation? Juan Diego. Mary.
3.482 times 10 to the 6th.
Correct. What's the sum of the distinct prime factors of 12? Time is up. That was 5. Give me the equation of the line about which a function and its inverse are symmetric. And time is up. The answer is going to be y equals x, and that bell signals the end of our game. It was a good game. Our final score is Juan Diego 180, PSJA Early College 130. That means Juan Diego, you move on to the next round of competition. I want to congratulate all the students for a good game today. I want to thank our judges here once again from UTRGV, Dr. Burke and Dr. Rivetta. We appreciate your service once again. All right, Juan Diego, we'll see you in the next round. We'll see you at home next week for another exciting competition of Masterminds.